Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. That's right. It's the bottom line. Monday night tonight here in Chance's Used Auto Parts Studio 02. Man, we got a lot of results to give you. I can guarantee you that. A lot of results. A lot of racing took place over this past weekend. All different tracks. You name it. Man, we even got to tend a few of. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you tuning in here at the bottom line tonight. We'll go ahead and get back here and get things hammered away here. Let me get my glasses. We good, Fred? Well, I'm going to tell you what now. Check this out. The old arm broke off my glasses. What do you think of that, Fred? Yeah, I reached down there, and right there's the arm. It gone. Well, these things happen. I guess I can hold them up. I'll hold them up here like this if I need to, you know what I'm saying? But which I will need to. I can assure you that. I will need to. Okay, so, man, I guess we got that out of the way. You know what I mean? We got that out of the way. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. I wanted to point out we got some new graphics being done for promotional postings and all sorts of stuff we got into making. And Hunter Stoy at Dirt Dictionary Media, he's coupled with us there and is going to be doing some graphics work for us. And very talented young man. It's Hunter Stoy at Dirt Dictionary Media. He's been around a lot of the racetracks already this year, doing a lot of work for different folks. And, yeah, good deal. So first and foremost here, we'll go ahead and take a look at our East Coast Legends Racing Recap. That's right, our East Coast Legends Racing Recap, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by David H. Martin Excavating, 50-plus years in the business. Residential, agricultural, commercial, excavation, utility service. They are the title sponsor of the East Coast Legends Series by Friesen Company. That's right. So we've seen that our East Coast Legends journeyed up to Path Valley, the quarter-mile bull ring. That's right, in Spring Run. And they're always good when they get up there. There's no question about it. They like to rip and tear up there. There's no doubt about it there. They had 33 sign in. Always good numbers. 33 signed in. At the end of the night, we seen Logan Jones. That's right, in the 5J, one of the house cars out of Friesen Motorsports. Logan Jones staying in victory lane P1. That's right. Hunter McElroy was second. Tyler Randmeyer was third. Owen Walgum in fourth. And Jeremy Ott rounded out your top five. And, Logan, he just recently won 2 weeks ago at BAP. So he's 2 in a row. That's right, for Logan Jones. Good deal there. We seen Ott had to run the B main, but came back up through, and I believe got the hard charger. And, he ended up finishing fifth, like I said. KJ Massey. Contending for Rookie of the Year. That's right. KJ Massey, strong run for her. Made her first A main, ran 20th, it appears. Let me get my glasses here. Okay, ran 20th. That's right. Eric Moats, another one for RDH Motorsports. Mike Donald, he made the A main as well. Okay, and he ended up finishing 12th. It's I seen some this past weekend. I seen a number 15 Legends car was Matt Parks. Okay, and I thought, Matt Parks. Well, we raced against Matt Parks. Matt Parks got a Fender late model, limited late model history. And now I guess him and his family are doing some Legends racing. Next step for the East Coast Legends, next step for them is at Linda's Friday night. And then Saturday they'll be at Lincoln. That's right, they'll be at Lincoln. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen Logan Jones. That's right, Logan Jones, 2 in a row for Jonesy. Congratulations, and that's your East Coast Legends Racing Recap, brought to you by David H. Martin Excavating. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty, because we got a lot of her to go over. I can assure you that. We want to get to our results, brought to you by Dan's Auto Repair. That's right, Dan's Auto Repair, and they're located in the east side downtown Rouserville, just right down here from the Studio 02. And, they do it all. Oil changes, inspections, major, minor overhauls. You go down there and see Chad, you get nothing but the finest work done. That's right. Affordable pricing, great work. Dan's Auto Repair. So let's get down to our results. We'll just start back with Path Valley. That's where we're with the East Coast Legends, and we'll just pick up where we left off there. Thunder Cars, always bringing the heat. That's right. One of our sponsors of the show, TB's Auto Body, Tim Burkholder. That's right. And out of Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, 35-plus years in the business, I must add. He's been always, since last year, putting up extra funds. He's been doing it this year to the Thunder Car class. This week he put $150 additional up. That's right. Made the $500 payday for your Thunder cars. I think he did 50 on a hard luck and 25 on a hard charger. Thunders, we've seen Jackson Utze. Jackson Utze was victorious. The Tank, Charlie Stallman, ran second. And then we seen, it looks like here in third was Buck. That's right. That's right. Buck was third. Ronnie Buck. Wingless Sportsmen, they were in the house. Brett Perigo was victorious. That's right. Brett Perigo. Donnie Farling was second. Great run for Donnie Farling and his crew, Jim Southbury, the owner of that machine. And Donnie, they had a fine run going. They led a lot of laps there. It was a racing thing, and Perigo got around, but they have nothing to hang their head low about. They ran a hard race there and ran second. Third, we seen Craig Perigo. That's right, Craig Perigo. Braden Kuhn, that was his debut. And the Mike Rolls, and then the Kirk Baker, that whole connection there. If you remember, we were up there and did a shop visit a couple Sundays ago. It was his debut in the Wingless Sportsman's, and he rounded out finishing 13th. Okay, 270s, the TA Ward 270s. We've seen Parker Lewis. He parked in the victory lane. The 600s. It's good to see Jimmy Young back in victory lane in that familiar red and gray and white number 8. Jimmy Young. That's right. So moving on, we'll get to Sealings Grove. Sealings Grove. We've seen, I'm just going to leave that like that with one arm off. It probably ain't nobody can tell, Fred. You know what I'm saying? It's stylish. It's stylish. I can't believe that. They're a good set of glasses. You know what I'm saying? Well, it is what it is. Sealings Grove. Okay, we went to Sealings Grove, Sand Hill in good old Snyder County Friday. Super late models in town. Okay, 23 signed in. And the end of the night was seen The Truth, Greg Satterley. He made it 2 for 2 at the big half mile there at Sealings Grove. Ryan was second. Ross Robinson making that long haul again out of Delaware. He ran third. Dylan Yoder fourth. Austin Berry, strong run for Austin. Finished out the night in P5. Clay Harris also rolled in there, a regular on the Lucas Oil Super Late Model Series. There was nothing on last week, and he came to town. He ended up finishing 21st. Here we go, 305s. They had a mess of them, okay. And the 305s, we've seen Drew Young. Drew Young was victorious in the 305s. Street Stocks, Jason Geisman. No stranger to victory lane there. Jason Geisman in that number 81 in the Street Stocks. So, yes, Saturday, 2 in a row there at Sand Hill at Sealings Grove. Lane Snook, once again, won his heat race, led some races, was a contender there. Man, I tell you, him and Satterley been going back and forth here the last 2 times. I mean, tight door to door. Unfortunately, Lane broke motor-wise. I'm not sure to the extent, but he did break through that race. We hated to see that. Port Royal. They travel to Port Royal, super late models, okay, at Port Royal. We've seen Greg Satterley again, okay. He swept the weekend. Satterley wins. We've seen Trevor Feathers second. If you remember, opening week at Port Royal was vice versa. It was Feathers 1 and Satterley 2. But this weekend, it was Satterley 1 and Feathers 2. We've seen Clay Harris. Speaking of Clay Harris, he also went up to Port. He ran third there. Hayes Mattern ran fourth. Dylan Yoder fifth. So Satterley and Feathers was your 1-2. Limited late models had a big weekend there, okay? They had a makeup feature, and they had a regular scheduled feature. So the makeup feature, we've seen Snook and Myers. Myers in that TRW race chassis. That's right, their own race chassis out of Worleytown, Pennsylvania, Tom and DJ Myers. They started on the outside pole. Snook started on the pole. At the end of the night, Snook won. DJ was second. Andrew Yoder was third. Now, you go to your limited late model regularly scheduled feature. Okay, so obviously the same guys, they stayed, ran that. Had a lot of heavy hitters in there, Jackson Garman, the young gun in the Garman family concrete business machine. Yeah, he parks it in victory lane. That's his first win there for Port Royal. Jackson Garman. DJ in the TRW chassis. Garman in the TRW race car as well. Okay, that's a house car. Okay, Myers was second. Snook was third. Okay, Snook once again hit the top 3 there. Myers, good weekend or good night for him. 2 second places there for the Myers race team. Okay, so moving on. And Delaware International, I wanted to point this out. Up at Delaware International, the crates, Trevor Collins won. Okay, Trevor Collins is victorious, and that's 3 in a row for Collins. not just there at Delaware International, but Hagerstown, I believe, won before Delaware International, and this last one was at Delaware International this past weekend. Trevor Collins, obviously, we see, running super late models as well. Okay, he's from up in that area, up in where Ross, the boss Robinson, up in Delaware. But so he won here the other week at Hagerstown, and he gets out front, but he's that car's fast. It's a fast crate car. It's a fast crate car. So one thing we wanted to do here tonight is I have a guest here in house for the news tonight, and a good friend of mine I've known for many years. He's also a sponsor. A really good sponsor. We enjoy having him on here, and he's a racer. You can't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Todd Walls up. Todd, come on up here. You're going to hang out here while we do the news, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. There you go, Todd. Have a seat there. I'll get you tuned up here. Okay, you should be ready to go. Fred will give you a test 1 2, test 1 2. Fred's everything going well?
What do you say, Freddie?
Freddie, you good on that one? Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Todd, welcome, my friend.
thank you. Appreciate you having me down.
Heck yeah, Todd. I've known you a long time, going back to DJ Myers days, racing late models, working on them,
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, time flies, we all go our ways, and circle back around. I was out of the area for a lot of years, come back around. Well, you got yourself a very established business here, Walls Wallpapering and Painting, Todd. And we were just talking before the news broadcast here tonight, and man, you got yourself an operation going there.
Well, it keeps us busy. It's took me 35 years to get to where I'm at, but it definitely keeps us busy. We got a lot of guys that I provide for, the
Yeah.
work, and so I mean, it's a good business. It's providing for all of us,
Yeah.
and we got some good customers that are loyal to us over the years, and we're appreciative of it.
Yeah, I tell you, Todd, and we appreciate you obviously coming on board with us here for this season, so to speak, and being a sponsor. And yeah, man, and we were talking earlier about the wallpapering thing, and we were laughing there saying, who wallpapers anymore, right? Well, Todd, let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Todd here instructed us, educated us on a lot of people wallpaper, and it's a lot more than what you think, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. There's commercial wall coverings, residential. There's quite a bit that people don't realize, that goes on. And then there's not many of us wallpaper hangers, I guess, around. So it keeps the ones of us that want to do it very busy.
Sure.
But we do a lot of specialized wall coverings and such, and a lot of murals.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of natural products we put on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of specialized work anymore. It's not like it used to be.
Well, we said, like going to your grandmother's and putting wallpaper up on a Sunday, I helping her, right?
Absolutely.
A lot different.
We're tearing a lot of old stuff off and putting new stuff on these days.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, it sounds like everything's well. Business is well, family's well, everything's going good.
Yeah, we're doing good. We lost our mother there a month or two ago, but
sorry to hear that.
Well, she was suffering, but she's better now, that's for sure. But no, other than that, the family's great, and we're just trucking along, enjoying life, and that's what this racing's about. 6 years ago, my wife and I, we was talking. All I was doing was working, and it was like, hey, it's time to start enjoying some life again. What are we working for? Let's do some. So we got back into racing. Let's get a car and go race.
Yeah,
so,
let's spend some money and have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, you can't take it with you, right,
That's
Todd?
right. If you're going to work, you might as well have some fun.
Yeah, I hear you there. And Todd here is a contender in the PA Micro Midgets 500cc class. Now, Hunter Smith was on the show last week with Gunnar Walls, okay? He competes in the 300cc's, okay? And so it's kind of neat to have both. And that series has grown immensely. And I've read, and I put it out last week, that the York Racing Extravaganza was recently purchased from Scott Gobrecht and April Clark, and that was your folks that own the PA Micro Midgets, correct?
Yes, Marty and Steve Hobson, they bought that, yes.
Okay, so that'd be cool. That's good to see. Things keep going like that in racing. You got to keep things moving.
Yeah, well, it's great that they're keeping doors open for themselves, to promote our series. I think that's great, that they're doing that. Plus, it's just anytime they can get our series out there. But I tell you, and it seems like everywhere we go anymore, we're drawing 25 to 30 cars in the 500 class alone.
Yeah.
So I think to myself, like, what promoter a track wouldn't
want you there.
wouldn't want to invite
Right.
our series? Plus, we bring the 300 class with us. So, you know, it seems like a great deal for a promoter of a track, you know, to want our series to come to their track. I mean, so yeah, but I enjoy it. I mean, myself, I just really enjoy racing. Just being on the track racing it, you know, at my age, I'm not a young kid anymore.
Well,
so
we're not
I
no
just,
spring
I just,
chickens,
I
you
just
know?
want to go race, you know,
Yeah.
and have fun
Yeah.
with a group of people. And that's what my wife and I are doing. She enjoys it just as much as I
Yeah.
do, you know, so
Yeah.
it's a great series for that.
Yeah, well, good deal. Well, now this past weekend you were McGrew Bid. McGrew Bid, obviously, that's a premier facility there at BAPS. Okay, and we've seen. You can correct me if I get this wrong. Matt Kiefert. Matt Kiefert. He was victorious P1, but you were right there in second. Okay, you were in second, Todd, and then Ryan Post rounded out your top three.
Yeah, Ryan Roast.
Ryan Roast. I did miss the R. See,
That's
the
all
glasses,
right.
that's why you're here, Todd. You know what I'm saying? That's why
We got to get you some good glasses.
Yeah, I know. Ain't that awful? Man, I'm telling you, that just bums me out. But, yeah, so you had a good weekend, P2, okay?
Yeah.
And you've seen Victory Lane a lot in the past, Todd. And I know you and I have talked about it. And you told me at one point, you said, Tom, you know, I'd like to see a lot of the other ones win, too. And that to me, is a novel of sportsmanship. When I hear someone saying that, you know what I mean? No, I like to see some of them other folks win, too. I like to win, but I like to see some of the other guys win. Todd, that goes a long ways. It really does. So.
Yeah, well, there's a few guys in the class that, you know, I see work so hard, and they're always pulling the win, you know, and they always come up just a little short here or there, and I'm always like, man, I'm rooting for you. I really am.
Yeah.
Just because they're giving the effort for it, they just haven't had the result, and so I do. I really.
Yeah.
I want to race with them, you know, and I want them to win, you know, because
Sure.
I want everybody to feel that feeling that I've had.
Yeah, right,
you know.
right. Yeah, that's something I can't describe it. You know what I'm saying? It's a great feeling. I've been in Victory Lane, like I said, about fucking 500 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but I ain't never stood with one of my own. I'm announcing on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know, but I can assure you, I can't imagine the feeling, obviously, of that, and that's really sportsmanlike. Now the 300 cc's were there as well, and it was Owen Bull, correct? That's what they had.
Yeah, well, I don't know that boy personally. I know Hunter, I think, was second.
Hunter
but,
was second.
Yeah, I did see that boy won.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of them younger boys, they just come into the series and sneak up on me, and I don't know who all of them are yet. So, but yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and Gannon Wright was third. Yeah, so we
Okay.
had Bull, Smith, and Wright. So a good podium finish for the young man down the road here, Hunter Smith.
Absolutely.
Hunter Smith.
And they actually had a good turnout for the 300s this week. They had, I think, probably 11, 12 cars,
Yeah.
you know, which is good for that class.
Sure.
You know, that's a good younger class of guys growing up, you know, that can move up into the other class.
Yeah, 100%. And now you guys will be going to Lincoln this Saturday.
Yeah,
Going to
Saturday.
Lincoln.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Todd, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Walls right here, one of our premier sponsors, Walls Wallpapering and Painting. He's also a friend of mine. I've known him a long time in the racing world, and he is also a racer himself in the PM Micro Midgets in the 500cc class, and he's kind of hanging out with us here while we run down through the news and everything. Fred, we all good up there? Freddie says we're all good. Okay, that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. So, Todd, we'll go ahead and run down through here, and feel free to comment on anything. And so, where were we, Todd? Well, we're back at Bedford. We're going to go to Bedford, okay? We're going to go to Bedford. Limited late models, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen Kid Smooth himself, Gunnar Walls. That's right. Gunnar Walls parks it in Victory Lane. That's right. First one of the year. He's picked up his first limited late model win on the big stage, the fabulous Bedford Fairgrounds, last year. And he was on the show last week, you know, and I know them guys have been struggling, you know, and he tells you that. They've been struggling, you know, but clearly they got the job done this past weekend.
Always glad to see that. A cousin of mine winning. Always like to see that.
There you go. That's right. Devin Wyatt was second. TJ DeHaven was third. Now, the SCDRA was there, Northeast, and Matthew Duvall. That's right. Matthew Duvall was victorious there. That's right. Matthew Duvall. Matthew and his wife, Erica, they are the kingpins. They run the SCDRA Northeast, and we've been fortunately, you know, invited and brought into the mix to do the big Lincoln race for the SCDRA. It pays $50,000.
Holy smokes!
$50,000.
Do they need a support series that night?
I know, exactly. Yeah, we're going to be doing the meeting announcing for that coming up on August 1st and 2nd. And, we're really excited about that. Semilates, Kyle Deneen. Kyle Deneen was your winner in the Semilates. So we'll switch gear over to Winchester. That's right, the action track in Winchester, Virginia. You spent many, many times there back in the late model days. And limited late models had a stout field. They truly did. They were paying $2,000 to win. And Hardy was victorious at the end of the night. Hardy, Gerald Davis, he was the winner the week before, the Mountaineer man, Gerald Davis, and Wes Bonebreak. He was third. So Hardy, Davis, and Bonebreak. SCDRA was there as well. And we've seen Chris Anderson victorious. Chris Anderson was victorious in the SCDRA Northeast Series. Pure Stocks, Alan Brandon. Hobby Stocks, Jason Wilkins. And I want to point out that Jace Piper, that's right, Jace Piper, his rookie year in limited late models, that was his first top 10. He finished 8th. So good for Chase there in the 01. Nice. Something to build on. Okay, so we're switching gears over here. Let's go to Dog Hollow. Dog Hollow. Limited late models, we've seen Brian Benton. He was victorious there. They usually rack up quite a many wins at the dog pound, as we call it. And Brian Benton does every year, every season. Spike Moore finished second. That's right. And then we had Scott Stein third. Scott Stein third. In the crates, we've seen Colby Kimbrough. He won the crates. Mike, I got to get my glasses out of here. Mike Langhart was second. Avery McMillan, that's right. In his basically his rookie year, I call it in crates, he ran third. That's right. Avery's obviously a member here at the Mid-Atlantic Junior Racing Club. He's been an ambassador for our club, and and so was Gunnar Walls. I point out Gunnar Walls is an ambassador for our Junior Racing Club. So them young men are moving up through. They're moving up through. Switching gears, Potomac, David Williams, Budds Creek, Maryland. David and his crew are doing a lot of good things down there. And they had the Danny Garrett Memorial. That's right. DJ Garrett, a friend of mine, I raced with him, and he continues to race in that blue number 81. They memorial for his father, okay? It's the 4th annual. It paid $34.99, so $3,500. Okay. $3,500. And at the end of the night there, we had some heavy hitters in there. And we've seen Kyle Lee. We've seen the General. That's right, the General Kyle Lee. He was in Bruce Kane's 15K. Okay. You know that name all well back in the day. Bruce Kane's 15K. He was piloting that, and he was victorious. Ed Pope, straight out of the Vatican. Eddie Pope was second. Jeff King, third. Strong finish for Jeff. And Scooter Tippett, fourth. And then, lo and behold, DJ Garrett rounds out the top 5. That's good. Yeah. Top 5 for DJ on his dad's race. Good deal. Good deal. Street stocks there at Potomac, we've seen P.J. Hatcher. He was victorious there. And hobby stocks, we've seen Justin Hatcher. And his strictly stocks, we've seen, hold on, let me get my glasses up there, Nabil Guffey. And I'm probably saying that wrong. Nabil. I'm going to say Nabil Guffey in the strictly stocks. The U-Cars, we've seen Adam Suda. Adam Suda in the U-Cars. So kudos to Potomac. They've been doing some good shows. They got a lot of good shows coming up. And like I said, I can't say enough for David Williams and his crew. We're going to be getting down to Budds Creek, Maryland, and doing some media stuff. We usually get down there several times a year. Obviously, you've been to the good old.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, she's a hole down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like it down there. I do. I like going to Budds Creek.
Yeah, I always liked racing there. We always run pretty good there when we was there.
Yeah.
But luckily we had a good truck driver on the way home. We could sleep on the way back.
Exactly. That makes a huge difference. You're right.
Bouncer, he would drive us back up the road.
Yeah, he lets you take a little snooze.
Yeah.
Lincoln Speedway, 410s. Chase Dietz, he's burning down the house. He parked her in Victory Lane. Troy Walgeman Jr. second. Tyler Ross third. The 358 sprints. How about this? Cody Fletcher, 3 for 3.
Wow.
So Cody Fletcher, 3 for 3. Good for Cody Fletcher and the gang. Moving on, BAPS. We've seen limited late model action at BAPS. Scott Palmer, he parked it in Victory Lane. And how monumental. Yeah. Scott's father, God bless, he passed away just within the last week, 10 days.
Yeah, Ray was a good guy. I remember him with Scott and the rest of the crew there. That was pretty cool that he was able to win.
Yeah, parked
last
it
week.
in Victory Lane. Yeah, Gunnar Walls, There you go. Yeah. Fresh off a victory. Gunner Walls just tuned in. Fresh off a victory up at the Bedford Fairgrounds, and he parks it in P2, second place at BAPS. Chase Billett was third. That's right. Rodney was even in there driving his brother Keith's car because Keith's out injured. Yeah. In the 462, I think he was sixth, roughly. It was funny. You look down through there, and there was about 6 Walls listed in there. You know what I mean? But the young boys were out front. Dawson Walls, he was, I think, ahead of his daddy, and Gunner was ahead of his daddy. That was hilarious. You know what I mean? The guys are getting good. You know,
take it easy on the boys.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Moving on, Clinton County, limited late models, George Dixon, Reaper Racing in that 56R. He parked her in victory lane. Jennifer Lesher, okay, second. Maddox Smith, third. So Dixon, Lesher, and Smith at Clinton County in the limited late models. Williams Grove, okay, 410s. Troy Wagaman Jr., he was victorious, okay. Chase Dietz was second. Now, mind you, they go Saturday night and vice versa, right. Okay? It was Dietz Wagaman. At Grove, it was Wagaman Dietz. Danny Dietrich was third, okay? Extreme Stocks, Sammy Rao parks her in victory lane. Evan Faust second, Mike Goodwin third. The Extreme Stocks, they got a lot of good drivers in there. Faust and a lot. Rao's not obviously, he lurched from those in the past. He don't run them full time because he runs a limited now, okay? But he dips over some. So he was able to put his machine in victory lane. Now let me make sure I got it all covered here, Todd. I don't want to miss anything. I'm thrown off with these glass things. It really has me thrown off. But you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of racing going on this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of racing going on. There's no doubt about it. If you're just tuning in, I'm Tommy Cordell. This is the Bottom Line weekly race recap here in Studio 2, brought to you by Chaz's Used Auto Parts. I got Todd Walls here beside me of Walls Wallpapering and Painting. That's right, one of our premier sponsors here on our show and for Elbows Up Dirt Productions. And he also races in the PA Micro Midgets 500cc class. So he's flanked here to my left. That's right. And Freddie, Fast Freddie's up there on the control panel running things. Fred's everything set and good?
Yeah. We're doing real good.
Mm-hmm. And Freddie says we're good. Okay, so let's get to Ashley Yoder Designs. Okay, race wraps, decals, sign work, you name it, Ashley Yoder Designs on Who's Hot for the week. Who's hot, okay? And we're going to tell you, super late models, we're going to go with Greg Satterley, the truth.
I don't see how you couldn't after what the weekend he had.
I guarantee you, I guarantee you, he doubled up. He swept her this weekend. He swept her clean. And him and Robbie, they found speed, and there's no doubt about it. Snook's giving him a fit, though, but, on them races. But, I'm sure Snook obviously wants to sit in victory lane in that super late model and get that first super late model win. But I don't think, obviously, they don't want to have mechanical issues, but, boy, it's hard to say. Well, you want to say don't hang your head, because I'm serious. I mean, you got one of the best in the businesses, Greg Satterley's trying to run you down. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're holding him off, and you're racing door to door. Man, that's something that just makes your legs stick straight out. Holy moly.
Well, he's got it in him. Losing one like that, he knows it's in him now. He can do it, and he's going to come back, and he'll eventually get there.
He will. There's no question about it. You'll see Lane Snook park a super late model in victory lane this year. If not once, but maybe twice more. There's no question about it. Limited late models. Who's hot? You ready? Here we go. How about Gunner Walls, Kid Smooth? We're going to go with Gunner Walls. He had the monkey on his back here early in the season. He rallies. He finishes P1 at Bedford. That's right. He comes back and gets a stout field. I think there was 30 entries of limiteds down at BAPS. Okay, and then he finishes second there. Honorable mentions. I'm going to go with my honorable mentions. Sometimes I don't have honorable mentions. Sometimes I do. I do this week. For the limiteds, I'm going to go with DJ Myers in that TRW race car, and I'm going to go with Jackson Garman in that TRW race car. Don't forget, Garman ran second a few here and there and this year already, and now he finally parks it at Port Royal. So clearly their car's hooked up. Yeah. Clearly the TRW cars are hooked up and running good.
That Jackson, I tell you, the races he's had, even like at Path and stuff, he's really been running well in that new car since he got it. So Yeah, and DJ looks good in his. You know, they got a good setup there in that car.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. 410 sprint cars, remind you, I got to remind everybody they're from another planet. You know what I mean? We love them all. Don't take it personal. Don't be sending hate mail. 410s, we're going to go with Chase Dietz, okay? He leads the PA Posse series points that they have going on, which is a big series. He had a good weekend. Honorable mentions, I got to go with Troy Walkerman Jr. because he's really starting to step things up. They were 1-2, 1-2 this weekend, the Lincoln and Williams Grove. Dietz just has a few more dubs this year under his belt, wins, than Walkerman. But I'm going to go with Chase Dietz in 410s.
Yeah. One thing I'll say for Chase, too, you know, a couple years back, he come to our series banquet, and I didn't honestly at the time even know who Chase Dietz was, you know, and we got to meet him and talk to him there at our banquet, and he came and spoke to us there, you know, and this has been 3-4 years ago, and I thought it was great that he took the time out and come and you know, spoke at our banquet. To a lot of the younger drivers and myself, because I didn't know, you know, honestly at the time I didn't know who he was, but it's just now that I know who he is and how he's succeeded in his racing career, it was pretty neat to meet him back then before he's actually where he's at now. You know, that was a pretty cool deal that he was able to do that for us.
To come back to your banquet like that. No, that is.
Yeah, and talk to the younger drivers, you know, just to give them some inspiration to be where he's at. You know, that was pretty cool of him.
Yeah, kudos to Chase Dietz for that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. When a guy comes back like that and visits, that means something right there because a lot of people start looking up to a fellow like that. You know what I mean? It gives them some drive. Okay, so now we're moving on. We have our Amsoil by Aaron Miller. That's right. Aaron Miller right there, our up-and-coming here. What's going on this week? So Amsoil by Aaron Miller. And up-and-coming, what we have on the docket for schedule-wise. In Half Valley, we see limited late models, 270s, 600s, past 305 sprints, and Thunders. That's a big night there. A lot of cars there. There'll be a lot of car count, especially in the past 305s. Bedford, we have the Benny Ford Memorial. Pace 4,000 I've seen, okay? Friday night, super late models. USAC sprints will be there as well. Pure Stocks, Crown Vics, and 4 cylinders. Don't forget your Crown Vics, you know.
Right.
They got a mess of them out there. BAPS, Saturday night. It's the first visit of the Lucas Oil. That's right. Lucas Oil's late model series comes to BAPS for $25,000 Saturday night. Limited late models are on the docket as well. So she's all late models that night, limited or supers. Going to be good. Hagerstown, Sunday, they get Lucas Oil. Sunday, they get Lucas Oil super late models. And crate late models will be the support division that night with them. Weather-wise, I'm not going to just beat around the bush, but Saturday's not looking good. And that's a bummer. It truly is. I'm bummed about that for everybody. Sunday, for Hagerstown, looks like we're going to get clear of rain and be cloudy. Probably can get it off and get it going. Remind you, Friday night, Georgetown, I should have said that first, Georgetown has Lucas Oil on, okay? Lucas Oil Super Lates Friday night, Georgetown. That one, weather-wise, looks like it's going to go. Bedford Friday night, looks like it's going to go weather-wise. Saturday is the, you know. Potomac, 604 crate late models, street stocks, hobby stocks, strictly stocks, and I believe we have the Roadsters. That's right, the Roadsters. Lincoln, here we go. We have PA Micro Midgets, 300cc, 500cc. We have East Coast Legends. That's right, by Friesen Company. East Coast Legends, classic cars and flying iron limited stocks. Now, we were looking. The start time Saturday is a little different for that, correct, Todd?
Yeah, they moved it back the way. Well, I don't know if they moved it or it's always been that way, but it was. I think the gates open at 1:30.
1:30 gates. Yeah, and it looks like 4 o'clock things kick off. So obviously that's a couple hours earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Williams Grove, Friday night, they see 410s, wingless sportsmans, and past 305. Ceilings Grove, okay, they see 410s. It's the Ray Tilley Classic. That's right, the Ray Tilley Classic for 410s. Limited late models in street stocks at Ceilings Grove. Port Royal, 410s. Saturday nights, the Keith Kaufman Classic. The Keith Kaufman Classic. Wingless sportsmans are there, and USAC sprints are there. Winchester, Rush Crates. That's right. The action track of Winchester, Virginia sees the Rush Crate late models for $5,000. They roll into town for $5K. Now, mind you, let me add that to that. Georgetown, they're up there Friday night. They're up there Friday night accompanying the super late models of Lucas. Okay? That's right. So, Winchester, Rush Crates, 5,000, Pure Stocks, and IMSA Race Saver Sprints. Dog Hollow, the Dog Pound. Limited late models, Pure Stocks, Crates, and 4 cylinders. There's a good bit of racing to go around, Todd. You know what I'm saying? And each week it's getting busier and busier. Tracks are open. Some tracks are a little slower to open up. Late April, early May. But they're creeping in right now.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up.
Well, this paper, for results, she's full on the front.
You better get 2 papers.
Well, she'll start spilling over on the back once we all get up and running. That's right, once we all get up and running. Okay, so let me get to our In the News, brought to you by Tim Fights. That's right, Tim Fights Painting in the News. Residential, commercial, free estimates, painting, interior, exterior, power washing, Tim Fights. Give him a call. Okay, he just joined on with us here a couple weeks ago. We welcomed Tim Fights. He's also been around the racing world many years, okay? Currently helps with Scrub Rick Geckert. Fred, we good? Freddie says we're good. Okay, here we go. Now, going back to that East Coast Legends, Kelby Freeze. Kelby Freeze was involved in an horrific crash on the backstretch of Path Valley this past weekend. Was running up there. He's been running well week in and week out, P3, and unfortunately he got spun up there in a bad crash. He has a fractured T12 vertebrae, compression fracture. He's going to be out a little bit, so we wish him nothing but the best. Man, here's one. I've been trying to figure out who's local going to be running these Lucas shows. Okay. Yeah. Now I do know one guy that just put his put his name in the hat for Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday was Kyle Lee, the general. Oh. Bruce Kane looks like he's going to fit him up in the super. Okay, you're going to put him in the super late model in the 15K and running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Here's one. David Stremme. David Stremme ran this past weekend in a super late model in the C33 at Port Royal. That's right. He got 19th, P19 in the A main, but Stremme, obviously from the modified world, he stepped in that C33 super late model. Deshaun Gingrich, Larry Bear's grandson, his debut back in the Larry Bear-owned machine, the 0G super late model, P9 at Sealings Grove. That a boy, Shawnee. Good for him, P9. Dylan Yoder, P4, Sealings Grove, P5, Port. Solid finishes for the weekend. Dylan Yoder Nation, right? Dylan Yoder starting to show some strength there. Hayes Matter did not start Sealings Grove. Mechanical issues last weekend. Remember, the week before, he set the fast time and broke the track record at Sealings Grove. Last week, wasn't so well. He would have started well, but didn't start. But he also went to Port Saturday night and topped it off with a P4. So kind of something to build on, right, Todd?
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you can run good there.
Yeah, you name it. Clay Harris, like we said, Clay Harris rolled in on an off week with Lucas. Okay, we seen Max Blair do that the week before.
Right.
That's right, and he ended up winning the Port Show Saturday night.
He's been running good all year. I mean, he's been starting back, like even in Florida, he kept starting back and coming forward. But he had a good car there.
He's got a full Centerline Motorsports, got a full head of steam right now. Yeah. They really do. But yeah, Clay Harris, I think he was P20, 21st at Sealings Grove. He did bounce over to Port, though, Saturday, and then he ran P3, third place. He was P3 there for Port Royal. So, I've been hearing that a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, per se, that this surface at BAPS this year is just out of this world. That's what I'm hearing. They put clay down. Everybody's saying this surface is out of this world. A lot of the limited guys are talking about it, sprint guys. So, yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to them guys, obviously, getting the surface dialed in like that. In the racing, apparently, it's been pretty hammered down. I'm going to tell you right now, though, one of the fastest place, you can ask Fast Freddy, the fastest place on the half mile Friday night was Sealings Grove. I'm going to tell you what, buddy, she was hammered down, no lift, the whole way around. Wow. Man, them guys were hauling the mail. There's no doubt about it. They were hauling the mail. And, man, it made you dizzy watching it. It made you dizzy. you know, one thing in the news as well, you continue to pray for Tyler Ritchie and his family. Yeah, you continue to pray for them, and we'll, you know, as we get any updates on that, we'll pass that along, okay? And yeah, pray for Tyler Ritchie and his family. They very much could use that right now, very, very much. A Bedford regular, okay, a Bedford regular. Seen the big stage last year, you know, won in the super late models. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I do know that there's going to be folks like Austin Berry off his merchandise last week at Ceilings Grove went 100% to the Richies right there, and I know they're going to do the same this Friday at Bedford with merchandise. He also has decals made that you can purchase and such like that. I don't know if Austin's going to be able to race this weekend. They had a nice finish there at Port. It was let me find it here. Or was it Port? No, or Ceilings Grove. I'm sorry, it was fifth. And Port, and then they unloaded it, and the motor's making some wanky noises, so they're trying to get that wrapped up and fixed up, and we'll see if they can, you know how motors go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to pull her out and see what's going on. You know, see what's going on. And but he'll be there either way with merchandise and stuff for the Ritchie family like that. But yeah, Todd, you know it's a pleasure to have you stop by here tonight.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see you guys and chat it up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And you got a wonderful business going. I can tell that. I've heard great things about your business. How many years in business, Todd?
Well, I've been doing this 35 years, but probably business has been maybe 25, maybe 28, something like that.
So you're nearing 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Will you give us Guy a call, 717-860-0606. He's out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. He'll paint interior, exterior. He'll wallpaper. He'll get you fixed up. I can guarantee you. You won't find a better human being doing this kind of work. There's no
If I don't answer the phone, text me.
There you go. You text the guy because he's busy with a paintbrush in one hand. He's also talked to us a little bit about, you know, the PA Micro Midgets. He runs in the 500s. Had a second place this past weekend. And, man, you're always running. I always see your name up front there, at least in that top 5, if not top 3, Todd.
Yeah. Well, that's where we try to be, you know, but it's not always as easy as you think it would be. We got a lot of good competition in our series, so we try our best.
That's right. And you got a new car you're going to be bringing out.
And we're building a new car. I built it over the winter, and it should be ready here in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep my old car.
Okay. Yeah, you always keep him always. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in for the Bottom Line. We run every Monday at 8:30. That's exactly right. 8:30 it is for results. Big energy. That's right. So get out to your local racetracks this weekend. Get somewhere. Go support these local races. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do it with big energy and you do it with elbows up. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you at the racetrack.